Can't believe you're not here. It's very quiet without you, and I miss your questions. But let's see if we can learn something together. Today we're going to talk about the greatest common factor. Can any of you think what a greatest common factor might be? Well, you're right. Factors are the things you multiply together to make a number. So we talked about, for example, the factors of 8 are 1, 8, 4, and 2. Well, let's look at the factors of 32 and 40. There are two ways to find a greatest common factor. The first one being to make a list, which is how we were listing factors when we talked about prime numbers and composite numbers the last time you were here. That Wednesday? Yes, Wednesday. So let's think about the factors of 32. 1 and 32, we know all numbers have the factors of 1 and itself, being prime or composite. Now is 32 a prime or a composite number? You're right, it's a composite number, so it has more factors. What other factors does 32 have? 16 and 2, 4 and 8. Can you think of any others? All right, what about for 40? 1 and 40. What else? I always think of halves first if I can. So 2 and 20. What else? 5 and 8. Anything else? All right, now to find the greatest common factor, we have to look at what's common between them, which factors they have that are the same. So let's look. They both have 1. Do they both have 32? No. 16? No. 2? Yes. 4? No. 8? Yes. So which of these numbers is the biggest or the greatest? 8. So the greatest common factor, or the GCF, this is how you would write your answer, GCF, is 8. The greatest common factor for 32 and 40, those are the numbers we started with. We listed all the factors, and the greatest one they had in common was 8. You want to try another one? Okay. Let's see here. How about 10 and 45? 10 and 45. So how do we start? We start by listing the factors. So what are the factors of 10? 1, 10, 2, 5. Anything else? And what about 45? 1, 45. Can I divide it in half? No. Can I do multiples of 5? 9, 5. Can you think of any other factors for 45? All right, now we look at which number is the same on both lists. They both have 1, they both have 5. Which number's bigger, 1 or 5? 5. So the greatest common factor for 10 and 45 is 5. I'm going to do one more? Okay. Let's see. What about 15 and 22? What are the factors of 15? 1, 15, 5, and 3. Okay, what about for 22? 1, 22, 2, and 11. What is the greatest common factor? So which numbers do they both have? You're right, the only number they both have is 1. So their greatest common factor is 1. Are they prime numbers? No, they're composite numbers because they have more factors than just 1 in itself, but still the greatest number, which happens to be the only number they have in common, or that's the same between the two, is 1. So their greatest common factor is 1. All right? What would the greatest common factor for 2 prime numbers be? You're right, it would be 1 as well. But as we can see with 15 and 22, a composite set of numbers can still have its greatest common factor being 1 as well. All right, you're going to get a chance to try some of those on your own, but first we'll talk about another way that you can look for the greatest common factor.